All right, we're back on Get Up here as we approach the bottom of the hour. We play a lot of games on this show, and my favorite one is Sound Off. It is just interesting people saying interesting things. So yesterday we had Damian Woody on this program, and he had this to say about the potential for this year to be Dak's last dance in Dallas.
If it gets to the season, I think Dak Prescott is gone.
Gone.
Gone. Every player wants to get to unrestricted free agency.
Yep.
Dak gets to unrestricted free agency, which he has every right. He has all the leverage. Dak is going to get paid an insane amount of money. And Dak has already said that, listen, I'm not here to help the Cowboys. I'm here to continue to push the quarterback market up.
Yeah.
So why would Dak sign a contract right now? It doesn't even make any sense at all.
Yeah, that was a major flex, by the way, from Dak over the weekend. In case you didn't see it, what D. Wood was referring to there is that Dak Prescott said, and I'm paraphrasing now, but it's pretty close, like, I grew up with two brothers. I understand the impact of a brotherhood. It's my job not just to get as much money as I can for me, but to sort of reset the bar, reset the market. That's something that you, as the former president of the NFLPA, would understand.
Yeah, quarterback market is doing just fine, Dak Prescott. I don't think they need your help, but by all means, please push it up, push it up, push it up. That does mean that it impacts the rest of the players on in the salary cap. But Dak, I mean, to Damian's point, Dak's done everything he's supposed to do, and he's proven, he's a particularly interesting case because he's proven that you can get hurt and still get big money. So there really is very little risk for Dak this season right now to go and play or to go sign a contract. Pretty much no matter what happens. We saw Kirk Cousins get paid off of an Achilles tear. No matter what happens, as long as Dak can stand up and throw a football, he's going to get a big check.
Look, I'll take it a step farther. I think it would be startling if he did sign a contract before this season. The opportunity, as D. Wood was just saying in that soundbite, to get to unrestricted free agency as a top 10 quarterback in the NFL, we don't know how it would work because it's literally never happened. Because teams would never allow it to happen. Now, as far as, oh, I'm sorry, you're over here? Can we go over there? Because I want to talk to the guys. Thank you. Jeff, here's what I would say regarding being a reporter, which is what you are. There's no way to know if this is going to be Dak's last year because it's going to be exclusively up to him. Dak is going to make up his mind next year. Do I want to be a Cowboy for life? Do I love all the stuff that comes with that? Or do I hate all the stuff that comes with that? And that's going to be entirely up to him. The money, I have to believe, is going to come from so many places. Why are you looking like you're disagreeing with this, Jeff?
Well, I'll only push back on that because it's not entirely up to him from the standpoint that if it was, I think the Cowboys would have already signed him. I think that the Cowboys like the idea of a lame duck year for Dak Prescott to prove his value to the team once and for all. That is a very dangerous spot for a team to put themselves in, and I believe that they are only doing it out of a deliberate nature to find out what they have in Mike McCarthy, what they have in Dak Prescott, and decide their future from there. So yes, I believe that he will have a decision to make, but it is up to the Cowboys too to decide if they even want to be competitive within that market when it comes to Dak Prescott.
That's really interesting. So I want to make sure I'm understanding what you're saying correctly. You're telling me you could foresee a scenario where if this season goes badly, that after it is over, the Cowboys don't really want Dak back.
I don't think it's that different than the case that was being made for Tua Tagovailoa if he didn't sign his deal, a final evaluation period. Now, the difference, of course, is that Dak Prescott has already put so much on tape to show who he is and what he's capable of doing. But why else, if you're the Cowboys, are you allowing him to go into a one-year contract if you already plan to sign him after this season? Like, if you know you're going to pay him after this year, why not just pay him now?
Because you're not allowing it. Like when you signed that last time and he said, I want a no trade clause and a no franchise clause, you could argue that that was when the decision was made for him. He got a big contract off of an injury and he forced you guys to give him a no trade and a no franchise clause. That suggests to me that no matter what you offer me, I want to get to free agency, and I'm going to make you pay for putting me through this charade every time I come up, even though I'm one of the more proven quarterbacks in football.
And I think it is just evidence that he's smart. Like, this is a smart thing to do. Not signing a deal is really smart. The Cowboys, and Graz yells at me every time this comes up, if the Cowboys They've offered him contracts. They would have signed him by now. They want him to be their quarterback. It's just going to be a question of how much, right? I mean, if he wants to completely rewrite the record books on all of this, then maybe they're not willing to go there. Tim Hasselbeck, let me just get you in on this here. How do you see the whole situation?
Yeah, listen, the Cowboys may be taking the stance that Jeff is describing of like, hey, prove it to us. But the reality is that that's not what Dak Prescott is facing. He's proved it. Like, and Nick brought up the points, whether it's been Kirk Cousins, whether it was Dak when he broke his ankle. He's proved it. So, like, the money is going to be out there for Dak. The question just ends up being who he wants to take it from. And if the Cowboys are saying, like, hey, we're out, that's all right. Dak's going to go get it from somewhere else. And I think what Dak is saying, and we know this, is he's saying, listen, don't think that the shine of the star means more to me than resetting the market. Like, I don't care how much money you have, more money is still better. Like that has always been the perspective of guys that play in the National Football League. The window is not that big. It's just not. And so, the idea of a hometown discount for Jerry Jones, it's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. Now, state income tax could factor into it, but outside of that, he's going to go where the money is.
I would add to this that while the Cowboys do get more attention than any other team in the NFL, they're not the only team that gets attention. So could we see a world where the Pittsburgh Steelers need a quarterback next year? Could we see a world where the New York Giants need a quarterback next year? They could get any attention playing for those teams? And who knows how many others may wind up being involved in this thing? I think he's played this thing brilliantly.
And he's already benefited to some degree of the value that comes from being a celebrity in Dallas. And he's grown his fame to whatever point that he wants to be. But I do think we can't lose sight of the fact, despite the fact that I can't climb into Dak's head, it seems reasonable that every time he's up for a contract, they mess around with him. It seems reasonable that someone who's been as accomplished as him would think, wait till I get my chance.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to get a no trade, no franchise, and wait till I get my chance. And we assume that you leave for the money. You can leave for the money in the better opportunity. Talk about teams whose window is starting to close. The Cowboys' window seems like it's starting to close. He could land somewhere else similar to what Aaron Rodgers did, somewhere else with a better roster around him and get paid a ton of money and potentially win a championship.
And he's been talking about that. Okay, I need to get to the heart.